Hi, this is The Lonely Island for the undergraduate seminar in modding. I am Franklin, and I'm joined by Christian, Zavin, Steven, and Julius. So here we go. So the game we modded was Skyrim. Our quest name is The Lonely Island. A summary is that an NPC in Windhelm tells the player character of an island upon which people are disappearing, saying that the only way to reach the island is by boat. Upon reaching the docks, another NPC takes you to the island. The player character investigates the island by first asking the remaining inhabitants what they know about the island. Eventually, the player gathers two important clues. Investigate the woods and find a cabin within said woods. Upon finding the cabin in the woods, the player will find it abandoned. Inside, there will be a journal containing information about an artifact that the player will that has been the cause of the disappearances, and they will find a key. After obtaining the key, the player uses the information in the journal to find an artifact located in a locked cage on top of a hill overlooking the island. Upon reaching the artifact and unlocking the cage, interacting with the artifact, which are the soul trap gauntlets, teleports the player to a small dungeon where the disappeared islanders have been imprisoned. Throughout the dungeon, you are attacked by minions of the Jinn, and at the end of the dungeon, you fight the Jinn, the master of the dungeon. Upon defeating the Jinn, you get the Master Key with the ability to free the prisoners, which you have the choice to do or not. Afterwards, you return to the NPC that took you to the island to return back to Windhelm and claim your reward, which is money.
The original intention was to create a small island-centered quest, which you are enlisted to investigate a case of disappearing people. Overall, we came close to our original design, only having to cut out one major section of the quest, that being an aspect of exploring the island at night to actually find some of the clues that we wanted you to find. We discovered that the creation kit is not very helpful when it comes to designing quests around a day-night cycle. Upon realizing this, we decided to cut it out of our mod.
I'm Julius. For art, in order to retexture the Steel Nordic gauntlets into the Soul Trap gauntlets, I unpacked the textures from Skyrim using a BSA unpacker to have access to the textures, and then I went into GIMP and recolored the textures for our for the Soul Trap gauntlets, and then uploaded the texture into the creation kit and applied it to the model.
All right, for the technical aspect of our development, we encountered some numerous challenges, both within the creation kit and sending our mod to one another. So our NPCs occasionally would not say their lines. We called this the need something bug, due to that being what most Skyrim NPCs say by default if they don't have implemented dialogue. The solution to that was actually to test the game within a save file. For some reason, loading into an existing character fixes this bug 90% of the time. So we just started doing that instead of COCing or teleporting into a new cell upon starting the game. Another issue we had was that the perspective in the creation kit is unfortunately quite terrible. It's really hard to perceive 3D space when you're placing and moving objects around. On top of that, sometimes the movement and rotation gizmos would just stop showing up, and there was no way to fix it that we could find aside from restarting the creation kit. So the best option to fix that was to utilize the position and rotation snapping tools when necessary. This really helped placing stuff, especially within the dungeon. Another problem was that enemies would be hostile to each other and NPCs. We originally had a somewhat funny bug where the minions of our Jinn would just go and attack our Jinn and kill them before the player could even fight them. So we tried fixing it with the faction settings, like, NPCs in Skyrim have factions and they won't attack each other, or maybe they will attack each other depending on that. But we also found out that simply placing doors between NPCs will make them not want to attack each other. So that was a good fix for the second problem with the Jinn. Version control, that was a major challenge overall. That's about to be broken down more in our next slide. But the short-term fix was we abandoned Creation Kit's version control and basically resorted to Google Drive to fix all the issues transferring files. And then the final issue we had was that voiceovers were really quiet in Skyrim. Like we would record and then we'd play them in Audacity. It sounded good. Then we'd send them to Skyrim and it was like the NPC was whispering. And we had to boost them up in Audacity to fix this. Here's just some images of these examples. The top is our probably most important NPC. He's referred to simply as Boatman. He gets the player to and from the island. He probably had the most bugs out of all of our NPCs. Here's an example of him being silent when he's supposed to be saying some stuff to the player. And then on the right, we have an example of a misplaced object. If you can't tell, that is a table floating in the middle of a forest. We lost it a while ago during our design, and we couldn't find it until one of us chose to look up during our testing.
Hi, I'm Zavin, and I'm talking about production today. And our tools that we used to track our progress was Trello and Discord. We mainly use Discord to communicate when we were working on the mod and what we did in the mod. And we also used class time to uh, give updates on what we had done throughout the week. And for version control, like Christian mentioned, we abandoned Skyrim's or Creation Kit's solution to version control because it ended up breaking our mod and actually setting our production back a week or two. We also had to reinstall Skyrim and Creation Kit multiple times. On their actual tutorial page, they said it was very quick and easy to set up version control, and then proceeded to ask us to go into the hex editor and edit their files. As you can see on the top right, that's what that looks like. And so we decided to go with Google Drive for version control, and we essentially just transferred our ESP. And this pretty much worked, except for the code from scripts we're not transferring over. So we essentially had a master branch with all of the scripts compiled there. And what we would do differently is probably utilize Trello more to keep track of tasks and team member contributions. Discord would get a little hard to track what team members were doing. And another thing we would do differently is not do Skyrim as our mod.
So overall, despite everything that was previously said about Skyrim and how things could have gone better, we are overall very happy with our mod and what we've been able to do with it. And we were able to successfully band together as a team and accomplish the simple act of creating a full mod, which we are proud of. There were overall lots of struggles, especially with the version control, but learning how to coordinate as a team, as a small team, and get a project going from nothing to a working mod was a very valuable experience for all of us. So, and here we have an itemized list of all of our member contributions. So, thank you very much for watching, and we hope you enjoy our mod.